note is that to have people in your sales organization in a number of different countries guarantees the flow of purchasing of gold and consequent referral bonuses and commissions, because if all of your sales organization is in just one country, we don't know what's going to happen in terms of what the government does or doesn't, or you know, if there will even be places to buy things with gold. Therefore, to be spread out in numerous countries really guarantees the validity of you know, the movement of your sales organization, the continued growth, and the continuation of your residual income. So yes, we can recruit in all countries, and that's really exciting for us to be able to do that.
And by the way, folks, all you got to do is go to my website, freeamerican.com, click on the gold bar there, and that'll take you to the website. Also, there on my website are the order forms. Basically, you just fill it out. All we're asking for is your driver's license, proof of citizenship, and you fill that out, send it to me, and we put you in line. And listen, we've got Dr. Dennis Steigerwald on with us too. Dennis, are you with me? I'm sorry, we're not. I didn't mean to just ignore you there.
No, I was enjoying listening to Alan. A great job, Alan. And by the way, your pronunciation of Steigerwald was perfect. That's probably the best of all time. That was incredible.
Well, don't mean to toot my own horn here, but
that's great.
I have been reading since I was about 3 years old. So, at any rate, Dennis, you're a chiropractor. Now, I've even got a link. I had a link up on my site to your website. How did you get involved with KB? How did you come to know about this?
Okay, but I'm retired from chiropractic, and that's part of the story. I didn't retire the way most people retired. I was doing very, very well with chiropractic. I was very well known in a faction of that part of healthcare that had to do with head, neck, and jaw pain, and what people know as TMJ problems, jaw problems. I lectured all over the United States, and actually lectured in Germany, Europe, Canada, but my practices were doing well. And then, of all things, I was in a car accident, and someone who'd stolen a car happened to be down in Mexico. They pulled out in front, and life changed very quickly over the next 6 months, and I went from doing very well to being, what was it, in my, a big fish in a small pond to some extent, I guess, but still famous and broke, which is no fun. So that brought me to whatever you want to call it, direct sales, network marketing, MLM, whatever. I was against it at first because I didn't understand it. Then I found if you could find the right project, the right product, if things were right, you could make life better for yourself and your family. Because I was injured badly enough that after a while, I'm having a heck of a time today. Just some days are better than others. But it partially paralyzed my left side, and I couldn't practice anymore. I could lecture. I still do intermittent lectures for chiropractic colleges. I have a training system that doctors purchase for treating head, neck, and jaw pain and TMJ problems and all that. But it doesn't pay the bills the way having a practice did. So nonetheless, I finally realized that this industry was a godsend. That this is a chance for me to make money for my family by helping other people do the same. You needed motivated people like to help other people, all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, over the last 15 years, I've learned a lot about this industry. I've seen the good, bad, evil, and ugly in it, and the excellent. And when someone I know showed me this KB Gold project out of Europe, I had a little bit of an advantage. My wife Jacqueline is from Switzerland, Lucerne, which is kind of right next door to where the vault is, where the gold is stored. And her best friend was visiting us, and her husband, Beat, is an attorney. I was actually an attorney for a bank specializing in asset protection in Switzerland. So I was able to go, you know what? Because if I'm going to put time into something, I got to make sure it's going to really work. Not only pay off for me, but if I refer to other people like I did to Alan, I want to be confident that they'll be rewarded for their efforts. So I put some time into looking at this, and I know so little about all the affairs that you guys are talking about. I appreciate it, I get it, I understand it, but it's just, I probably just put my head in the sand about things. But so I'm going to give you a different perspective. What I look at here is the everyday person finally had a chance to play with the big boys, so to speak. That when people are investing in gold and silver and hedging their bets and doing this and that, and the average person like me and a lot of others were struggling along trying to make a living, we never had the money together generally to actually do something like that. And as the currency goes south, which I'm not stupid enough to that I don't realize that that's what's happening, and I'm watching it with my brother owns a construction company, and watching this economy just collapse down on him. It had collapsed on me long enough ago that I was kind of immune to it, but that was personal. But on the bigger scale, I could see it through my brother's construction company and some other big people I know who have really big businesses getting hurt. And then I saw that really this is crushing so many people. When I saw this, I saw a real simple side of it. The everyday person now can afford to make small purchases of the highest quality gold that, and I was able to confirm this, and Alan described it perfectly. Tinnerball quality, holographically signatured. I was able to confirm that it's done under the appropriate licensure of the Swiss government, so that independent audits. We were able to look into every aspect of it and said, now this is exciting. And by referral, people don't even have to make purchases, but if by referral other people make purchases, even if they themselves don't, they can generate income that they can take in currency. Why they would want to, I don't know, but they could take it in fiat currency, here in US dollars or Mexico pesos or wherever, or they could take their sweat equity by referral and have it, instead of taking it in currency on an international debit card, they could have it stored in this most secure of places in Switzerland, which we're able to confirm is exactly that, whether it's gold or silver, or they could have it shipped to them, and they could store it themselves if they chose to do it. And people have all sorts of reasons, but I just saw this simple thing, Clay. The everyday person could do simple things, have a life-changing income, and have that be in precious metals. That now that I've done research since last August, I finally get it. You know, when you take a 50-year spread of gold, with all the highs and lows and speculations and investments, which is not what this is about. But if you took it and just saved it and just let it ride through the ups and downs, you got pretty much an average of 20% increase per year over the past 50 years.
That's right. I mean, I can recall when I started the Free American, gold was about $300 an ounce.
I'll take it back further. First, I don't know why I have this childhood memory. The first time I ever heard about gold was a long time ago, and the first time I ever heard it was $42 an ounce. And here I am. I'm 63, so it can't be more than 63 years ago. It had to be about 50 years ago. It was about $42 an ounce.
Yeah, that must have been the 60s. I'm not sure I remember those.
That's probably one of the few memories I've got, but I've got it anyway. But nonetheless, that's what attracted me. The everyday person doing simple things can not only generate income, but can take that income in any combination of currency, gold, or silver, and have some precious metals, have it stored safely at no cost, or have it shipped to them. I said, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to tell everybody I know. And then I found out pleasantly, this has been an educational experience because I love learning. And I'm learning from Alan and Joe Norman, who you've heard from, and all these people, things I never paid any attention to before. I'm paying attention now, but I got to learn. And I realized that this is like that old story I heard a long time ago with the 5 blind men and the elephant. You take 5 blind men and put them up with an elephant. One grabs the tail, one grabs the trunk, one grabs the tusk, one grabs the leg, one grabs something else. And they'll all come back and describe something different. And that's what I found out with this. Everybody, I still think this is way bigger than I have any concept of. But it's a lot bigger than I thought it was in the beginning, but I'm attached to my little vision of it. Because I watched the top guy in Europe, Harold, when I first looked at this, his check for the month was 397,000 euro. That's about 500,000 US dollars, or however much gold, however he took it, or stored it. Now, here we are as of last month, so that's in about 5 months, that income by referral has grown to just shy of 900,000. So it's almost doubled in that period of time, all by simple referral to people who are doing something that's good for them, good for their family, as you said, good for the country, just good for the world. It's healthy, it's smart. And so that's what grabbed me. I kind of saw a little bit in the beginning. I moved with it. I learned as I went. The more I saw, the more I liked it, the faster I went. And I've got a group that's ready to, when they switch to flip the switch here, it's thousands of people ready to participate as far as both referrals and purchases. So,
and if you go out and buy an ounce of gold today, it's going to cost you about $1,000, right? If you go down to a local coin store and say, I want that gold, I want that ounce of gold there.
Alan, what's that going to cost them? More than that.
I believe yesterday it would have cost $1,381 for spot price, but you're going to pay a premium because those people need a commission as well.
Right, so about $14.50 they're saying here on the chat room, and I've got one lady here that says I'm too poor to buy gold, and I can certainly understand that outlook, but this is a way. For as little as $50 a month, you can put $50 a month into a savings account in a Swiss bank that you don't have to worry about closing down if they have a bank holiday here again.
Well, the only thing I would say, Clay, is 50 euro, which is about $65, but it still puts it within the grasp of an individual or family, even if people have to chip in for it, at $65 a month. That's what I thought is achievable. But it's 50 euro, which right now is, because they are out of Switzerland, and I'll give you some stats in a minute, but let's still, if you want to go with questions. But anyway, 65, but that's exactly right. For that woman's right. That's how I always felt. I can't afford to play. I can't afford to buy gold. I know it's smart, but
and you're not really. It's not like you're going out and buying a sweater or something. This is money. You're buying a solid investment that will increase in value. It has increased in value, since Roosevelt confiscated it at $16 an ounce, and then once the banksters had it, it doubled to $32 an ounce. But let me bring something else up. On the chat room here, I get all kinds of people here, so I have idiots here too. And I've got one that says, "Is this a pyramid scheme to get people to buy gold?" And I said, well, yes, it's a pyramid. It's a multi-level plan to get people to buy gold, to encourage people, make it easy for people to buy gold. And I asked him, I said, what, you think it's a scam to sell gold? I mean, everybody from the pawn shops to the jewelry stores are selling gold here.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll give that gentleman a direct answer. But before you just hit on something, 2 nights ago I was on the phone with a group in Hawaii who were so excited about this, and one of the women was relating the parties they're having on the Hawaiian Islands right now, where people are setting these parties up, having people come in there, and they're offering them $20 a gram for their gold. People are coming in, and because of the economy is so difficult, with heirlooms that they never wanted to part with. There are people coming in there with the gold from, now I'm quoting this now, with the gold from their teeth. And they're doing the exact opposite of what's going on here. They're turning gold into temporary purchase of something they can go and buy bread with. And they're giving up their family history, they're giving up their teeth to get a little bit of cash, a dime on a dollar's worth, to go buy bread. That's how bad this is. So let me say this, for the pyramid scheme, I would ask the gentleman to do, how would he define a pyramid scheme? Because I'll give you the exact definition in a second, but just reflect on it for a second. How would you define a pyramid scheme? Because it's the last thing I certainly would ever want to participate in.
From England, the guest from BBC says the reason it sounds like pyramid selling is because of the words like referral and participate.
Right. Now, here's the definition. First of all, in a pyramid scheme, the first person in makes more money than anybody else. No one can outperform the first person in. Number two, you're paid for recruiting. Number three, the product itself does not have real value and cannot stand on its own as a saleable item. So, now, I have, when we talk about what Alan described, 1 gram, but there are also half gram, 1 gram, 2.5, and 5 gram, but let's just take 1 gram. If you Google 1 gram Kinabar, Kinebar, gold price, and you do it today, you're going to go on, it'll bring you, you'll see UBS, which is the main Swiss bank, which is one of the only places that sells 1 gram Kinabar, which, as Alan said once again, has to do with purity, accuracy of weight, and signature. So somebody has to register and sign off on it. It's not just the highest quality, 99.9%. It's also that it's registered as that it has gone through an auditing process. In this case, KB carries the stamp of Price Waterhouse, which they'd be in jail if that was not true, for external auditing, plus the Swiss government certifies all this. They are approved by what's called Bundesparer, B-U-N-D, I hope I spell it right, second word D-E, third word S-P-A-R-E-R. This is a business, independent business. It's what you would hope the Better Business Bureau here would be like. They really look out for their people. They don't just okay this, they recommend KB Gold. Now, I just looked, yesterday, someone emailed me, as Alan was saying, a third party selling 1 gram Kinabar quality fine gold, 99.9 gold, from UBS. So they were middlemaning from the bank at $75.01. If you bought it from KB Gold yesterday, it would have been $63 US. They're selling it for $75 US. So we are a better price on a standalone basis without any kind of referral, any kind of joining anything, period. On top of that, they charge nothing to register with them. They charge nothing for any kind of bank, any kind of websites for promoting the program. If somebody does refer other people, they pay a referral whether you purchase something or not, so there's no pay to play. This meets the bar and jumps the bar by 2 lengths in terms of being an absolutely flat-out legitimate international program selling a product of value that would stand on its own. They have chosen to include the referral monies from themselves to others because they're so attached to this international currency concept, not just selling gold.
Now let me ask you this. I've got somebody on the chat room that's saying, what over spot and what are the premiums that they're charging?
They are not charging any premiums. They are not charging any storage. Any shipping is not an income center for them. You can go to, if you want to look at the website, that's a neutral website. It's KBVision.com. I'm sorry, KBVisionprelaunch.com. K as in King, B as in boy, Vision, V-I-S-I-O-N, prelaunch, P-R-E-L-A-U-N-C-H.com. They have the company addresses, everything's listed there. We went and checked out who their attorney firm in Lucerne is. It's the largest one in that city. It's not that I like to say it's the largest one in the world, but it'd be like the equivalent of saying it's the largest attorney firm in Minneapolis, let's say.
Okay, now somebody else is asking, well, why one wonders why KB doesn't simply advertise, because if you advertise, folks, then you are paying the media that is keeping you dumbed down. This KB has tried to take it through to people, so we market to each other, you know?
Exactly correct. Clay, well said. well said. This is a program for the people, by the people. That's what they believe in. That's what they're doing. That's why they're doing it. No, absolutely. And that's it. People don't realize that. With any now, I've been around network marketing a long time. I'm a doctor. I've done somewhat with health products. I try to stay away from them for the most part, because generally with health products, you end up marketing things that are marked up. And I'm telling you, these are the real numbers, just so you know. 8 to 12 times over what it would be in order to pay out commissions in a network marketing thing. Now, there are certain products, they choose to move them forward that way, and I'll tell you exactly why. A company getting started with something they think is extraordinary and exclusive, they're either going to put a ton of money into the advertising and pay before the sale, or they're going to pay after the sale and create it. And a lot of companies choose to do that. But very few nutritional products really stand alone to that extent. And within a very short period of time, generally, you could buy them half a third the price somewhere else. Here, these people own the mines. They own the refinery, which is a big thing. They own proprietary technology that you may have heard from Joe Norman in terms of how not only to extract from the waste products of other producers or diggers of gold, but also do it in a fashion that is green, that does not harm the planet or the people on it. But at the end of the day, they cut out all those middlemen. That's why if they are selling at any given day, they may be a few cents more or a few dollars less than the Swiss bank UBS that produces the most 1 gram Kinnabar quality. That's how they can compete, and still they can pay out these commissions instead of putting them in their own pockets. So that's a little passionate answer, but I wanted to give it to you. So.
That's all right. Alan, you know, it's like these idiots here, most of them are from foreign countries, a lot of them are from foreign countries, you know, they keep trying to find something wrong with this. Well, why don't they just advertise? I mean, and what they're coming up with is just ridiculous. You are, this setup is, you are buying right from the people that own the mines. Isn't that accurate? Isn't that accurate?
Well, exactly, you know, because KB Gold owns the mining facility and all manufacturing steps in between, there are no middlemen taking their cut except us. And so KB then pays us a huge referral fee, and it's our chance to not only make a lot of money and sharing this with other people, but it's also fulfilling our responsibility to let people know that now they do have an opportunity, they do have a chance to survive in bad economic times by having the opportunity to exchange their paper fiat currency for a precious metal. Not only a precious metal that is, you know, in large coins, but in small increments that can be used as a currency and maintain its value for the long haul. And I think one thing that people really get twisted around on is thinking that through KB we're doing investments. This is not about investing. This is about hedging against inflation. Two very different things. KB also markets silver. And so we're not supposed to use the investment word, but for those that like to use that word, silver might be the better way to go. But for the gold itself, I mean, we know people that are buying gold in, you know, the large bars, and they still want to have some of the half-gram ingots because they know that the large bars in economic times, you know, that are kind of like what happened in Cairo, for example. The banks shut down, the ATMs shut down. How nice would it be to have some, you know, a few hundred half grams of gold in those situations versus big lumps of gold that you can't take to the marketplace. And so people, even that own lots of gold, they want the 1/2 gram Kinnabar ingots that are transactionable.
This, now tell me about the websites. Those websites are just going up. What is the progress on here? What are we got what are people in my downline got to look forward to?
Well, of course, the main website and the simplest way of sharing this information with people is my KBGold.wmv and I know you have that on your website. Again, that's KBGold1.wmv, and that's what we share with people. And they can get all of the information they need. They can form their own conclusions from that information. We're not the message, we're the messenger. All we do is share the message with people, and they decide what they want to do. KB Gold may not be right for a lot of people. Maybe a lot of people put all of their trust and faith in this case, the U.S. government economic system and the U.S. paper fiat currency called federal notes. If people want to trust fully in that with their financial future and entrust their lifetime savings in that, that's fine. But there are a number of people that want to make a change, that want to hedge against inflation, and it's not like we're buying something here. You know, like Dennis said, to register is free. You can use the marketing websites for free, and we're not really buying gold. We're not spending money. What we're doing is taking paper fiat currency from our left pocket, exchanging it for precious metal currency, and putting that in our right pocket. So which would you rather have, a right pocket full or left pocket full? And that's exactly what we're doing. Right pocket being, you know, precious metals, left pocket being paper currency.
Now let's take a call here. I've got I believe I've got Dr. Ayush on the line, and the doctor's the one that turned me on to KB. Hello, Doc, you with me?
Greetings to everybody, yes.
I believe you know everybody on my call, don't you, sir?
Yes, I'm grateful to our guests today, Dr. Dennis and Alan, and also to your show as well.
Do you have anything to add to what they've been saying here? I mean, you know, I'm getting a lot of people on here that are doubters, and I don't blame them for being doubters. You know, I have one that says, and this is a friend of mine, it sounds like you're giving the controllers your money and believing they will give you what you got company. I won't be fooled again. What do you think they said on a ship at sea in a terrible storm with gold aboard? Believe in your crew, since you've got to stand together now or else it's all over for us. But what about that? I mean, you know, we are, and I have the same feeling about going to the Cayman Islands to put my money in a bank in the Cayman Islands to hide it from the government, to keep it away from the government. I got the same feeling. I don't, you know, how could I trust a bank in a land that I never been in? I'd go to. So how would you answer that, Alan?
Well, you know, that's up to each individual. And again, many people feel very comfortable with keeping their money in the local bank or with Bank of America, but they do have to watch what's happening around the world, because it's coming here as well. And where they put their money, that's up to them, whether it's in a foreign bank or maybe exchange it for gold and keep it in the same vault, the same depository in Switzerland where the Swiss government keeps its gold. That's where our KB Gold is stored, and it's stored for free. That's an option. Okay. People have a lot of options, but this is a very good option.
There's now you know, there's nothing to keep you from going down to the local jewelry store, or going down to the coin store, and buying gold right there. Except if I go in and buy the gold there, you don't make anything off of it. I don't make anything off of it. This is a way to pass on a commission, basically a commission on marketing. I mean, you know, they were saying, why don't you just advertise? I said, they are advertising. They are advertising right now on this show. And except you don't have to pay me for the advertising, because if somebody signs up under me, then down the road in a few months, in a year or something, depending on, you know, if you've got these Federal Reserve notes, if your job hadn't been sent overseas, if your job hadn't been eliminated, you know, then then there's an option for you. If you've already got money in a 401k, oh, let's see. Well, wait a minute. You know, that's been touted. 401ks have been touted as, you know, the safe place to put your money. Isn't that what they've done here? And wasn't that the one of the first victims, the people that had money in the 401ks? Didn't they lose a lot of money over the last year or two?